If Donald Trump is reelected in 2024, what will happen to inflation? Let's analyze. We'll start by looking at how Democrat versus Republican presidents performed. We'll start with Gerald Ford, a Republican who might give Trump a run for his money in bad hair days. He was president from 1974 to 1977. Ford started with inflation numbers of 11.5%, taking them all the way down to 6.5%. That's a win for red. Next is Jimmy Carter, a Democrat, and his inflation numbers really did make some babies cry. Under his presidency, inflation went from 6.5% all the way up to 13.55%. Next up, we got Ronald Reagan, president from 81 to 88. Can anybody confirm if this is actual real photo? Under Reagan, inflation performed extremely well from 10% all the way down to 4%, another win for red. Next up, it's time for George Bush Sr. Couldn't find any funny photos of him, but here we go. Bush Sr. was president from 1988 to 1992, and inflation went down even more from 4.83% to 3.03%. Next up is Bill Clinton. Under Clinton, from 93 to 2000, inflation did go up slightly from 2.95% to 3.38%, but overall, inflation was extremely low and he had a good economy. That's a big win for blue. Next up, we got another guy who makes babies cry. Under Bush Jr., inflation went from 2.83% to 3.84%, relatively low throughout his presidency, but it did increase. That's a small loss for red. Next up, we got Obama with the mic drop. He definitely dropped that mic when it came to inflation with the lowest numbers that we've seen from any president. That's a win for blue. Lastly, we got President Trump. I think we all know what happened under Biden, so he's the last one that we're going to do. Under Trump, inflation started with his first year at 2.13% and dropped all the way down to 1.23%. Overall, a big win for red and Trump. Overall, this data seemed to sway both Democrat and Republican, and Trump's inflation numbers were good. But what do you think will happen if Trump is reelected in 2024?